telling this story, this has been years. It started me telling this story when my sister passed away. So this is like years of me getting to this point, to this layer. I always stand true by what I said. I always stand true by what happened. And I don't know if there was a right or wrong way, the way I handled it. I don't think that there was. And with what I speak with my therapist with, there was no right or wrong way to tell the story.
Towanda Braxton has had it. After days of silence and public dragging, the middle Braxton sister finally snapped. And what she said in her surprise Instagram Live has left fans speechless, emotional, and deeply divided. It all started when Michael Braxton Jr. confessed that Towanda was not Ashley's aunt, but her real biological mother. That revelation shattered the internet. But Towanda's reaction? Even more shocking. With shaking hands and rage in her voice, she exposed how she was forced into silence, manipulated by family loyalty, and gaslit by Evelyn Braxton for over 2 decades. But she didn't stop there. Towanda came for Michael, Tamar, and even Tony, accusing them of leaving her to carry the shame while they watched her break in silence. This wasn't just a breakdown. It was a reckoning. And for the first time ever, Towanda is ready to tell her side of the story. It all began with one man, Michael Braxton Jr., sitting across from a camera crew with red eyes, a shaking voice, and a guilt that had been haunting him for years. In a surprise one-on-one interview uploaded to a small gospel network's YouTube channel, Michael did what fans never thought he would. He admitted that Towanda was Ashley's mother and that he, her brother, was the father. The interview was raw, emotional, and absolutely unfiltered. "I kept quiet for so long because I thought that's what love meant," he said. "Mama said we'd go to hell if we told the truth, that it would ruin the family, but I ruined it by saying nothing." Michael paused, rubbed his face, and then said the line that broke the internet. "Towanda ain't Ashley's aunt, she's her mom. And I'm the reason she's been living a lie." The world froze. Up until this moment, Tamar had carried the burden of truth. She was the one who exposed it, who opened the wound. But Michael's confession gave it legitimacy, proof that this wasn't a wild claim or a publicity stunt. It was real, dark, and rooted in generational trauma. The clip went viral in under an hour. But what no one expected was the absolute fury that erupted from Towanda Braxton the moment she saw it. Towanda's breaking point. Less than 12 hours after Michael's confession aired, Towanda popped up on Instagram Live. No intro, no warning, just pure boiling rage in her voice. She started the stream with 5 words. "So you'll think I'm weak?" Her face was flushed, eyes watery but fierce. And for the first time since Tamar exposed the truth, Towanda fought back. "Let me be clear. I never asked for this life. I never asked to carry secrets that weren't mine to make. But I carried them. Because Mama told me that's what daughters do. Because Michael said he'd protect me. And because Tamar. She said nothing for decades and now she want to play the hero? Nah." She slammed her fist on the table. "Michael want to cry on camera now? Where was all that crying when I had to walk past my child and pretend I wasn't her damn mother? Where was it when Mama told me I couldn't hold her for more than 15 minutes after giving birth?" Fans were in shock. Towanda wasn't denying anything. She was confirming it, but with rage, bitterness, and the pain of someone who had been buried alive in silence. Tamar, Tony, and the sisters get dragged. But Towanda didn't stop with Michael. She dragged Tamar next. "You think I don't see what this is? You trying to be the one who tells the story so you control the narrative. Girl, you knew. And you stayed quiet till you thought it would go viral. If you wanted to protect Ashley, you would have protected me first." Then came Tony. Tony Bin knew, she the oldest. She helped Mama shut me down. Said image is everything. Said people wouldn't understand. So you smiling in red carpet photos while I'm dying inside, Tony? You had the nerve to hold my daughter and lie to her face. Tamar responded in the live comments typing, "Don't do this, T. You know why I waited. You know what Mama did to all of us." Towanda didn't even blink. "Girl, shut up." The chat exploded. "This is wild. Towanda is done being quiet. Not her calling out all her sisters by name. This ain't Braxton family values. This Braxton family vengeance." By the time the IG Live ended, after 29 gut-wrenching minutes, Towanda had aired out every emotion she had suppressed for over 2 decades. She didn't just go off, she blew up. The moment Tawanda's Instagram Live ended, the internet was already in shock. But behind the scenes, things were unraveling fast. Braxton insiders confirmed that within minutes of the broadcast, phones were blowing up, PR agents were scrambling, and one woman in particular was already preparing a carefully worded response. Evelyn Braxton. The Braxton matriarch, already under fire for decades of rumoured manipulation, knew the tides had turned. Tamar's truth exposed the secret. Michael's confession confirmed it, but it was Tawanda's rage, raw, uncontrolled and heartbreaking, that turned public sympathy against Evelyn completely. So Evelyn did what she always did when the house started burning. She brought out the Bible. Evelyn's statement, "We all fall short." The following morning, Evelyn posted a formal letter to her Facebook page, titled "To Whom It May Concern, My Family is Hurting." The message opened with scripture, Jeremiah 29:11, and launched into a soft-spoken deflection wrapped in Christianese. "The Lord knows the plans He has for us, even when we don't understand. My children are hurting. My heart is broken. I raised them to honour family above all else. If they feel wronged, I am sorry. But I only did what I thought was best to keep them safe." She didn't name Towanda. She didn't name Ashley. She didn't name Michael. But she didn't have to. The post read like a subtle dismissal. And the public knew it. Safe for who, Miss Evelyn? You didn't keep them safe. You kept them silent. Not you using scripture to dodge accountability again. This is why Towanda snapped. You still gaslighting. The backlash was swift. Major platforms reposted the letter with headlines like, "Evelyn deflects responsibility with religious rhetoric," and "The matriarch still won't say her name." It was clear Evelyn's grip on the narrative had finally slipped. And in the middle of this chaos, Ashley disappeared. Ashley deletes her accounts. Again, fans noticed just hours after Evelyn's letter went live that Ashley Braxton's Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube pages were all gone. Vanished. No explanation. No farewell video. Just silence. Those close to her say she had been emotionally drained after seeing both Michael's confession and Tawanda's meltdown. The confrontation at Tawanda's house, already intense, was reportedly followed by several late-night calls that ended in tears and hang-ups. A friend told the Jasmine brand anonymously, "Ashley is tired of being the storyline. She wanted truth, not headlines. And now the whole world is watching her heal in real time." but she's still bleeding. That quote hit hard. Even Tamar, usually vocal and reactive, kept things minimal. She simply posted on X, "Protect Ashley. That's all I care about now." But Towanda, she wasn't done. Towanda goes live again. Mama still playing victim. Just 24 hours after Evelyn's letter and Ashley's social media blackout, Towanda went live one more time. This time, it wasn't rage. It was controlled fury. She spoke softly, clearly shaken, but pointed in every word. That letter, that was a press release wrapped in a scripture. That wasn't an apology. That was Evelyn Braxton doing what she always does, playing the holy victim while her kids choke on the secrets she made them swallow. Towanda went on to say, "Mama never apologized to me for what she let happen. She made me believe that my shame was protection, that silence was obedience. But I was 17, I was scared, and y'all kept telling me God wanted this." She began to cry, again, but this time with less fire, more heartbreak. "I want Ashley to know. I never stopped loving you, even if I was never allowed to say it. I'm sorry I wasn't strong enough to fight for you back then." The moment broke, viewers. Now this is the Towanda we needed. She's not angry anymore, she's broken. And Evelyn still hasn't said her name. The moment Towanda's Instagram live ended, the internet was already in shock. But behind the scenes, things were unraveling fast. Braxton insiders confirmed that within minutes of the broadcast, phones were blowing up, PR agents were scrambling, and one woman in particular was already preparing a carefully worded response: Evelyn Braxton. The Braxton matriarch, already under fire for decades of rumoured manipulation, knew the tides had turned. Tamar's truth exposed the secret. Michael's confession confirmed it. But it was Towanda's rage, raw, uncontrolled, and heartbreaking, that turned public sympathy against Evelyn completely. So Evelyn did what she always did when the house started burning. She brought out the Bible. Evelyn's statement: "We all fall short." The following morning, Evelyn posted a formal letter to her Facebook page titled "To whom it may concern, my family is hurting." The message opened with scripture, Jeremiah 29:11, and launched into a soft-spoken deflection wrapped in Christianese. "The Lord knows the plans He has for us, even when we don't understand. My children are hurting. My heart is broken. I raised them to honor family above all else. If they feel wronged, I am sorry. But I only did what I thought was best to keep them safe." She didn't name Towanda. She didn't name Ashley. She didn't name Michael. But she didn't have to. The post read like a subtle dismissal. And the public knew it. Safe for who, Ms. Evelyn? You didn't keep them safe. You kept them silent. Not you using scripture to dodge accountability again. This is why Towanda snapped. You still gaslighting. The backlash was swift. Major platforms reposted the letter with headlines like "Evelyn deflects responsibility with religious rhetoric" and "The matriarch still won't say her name." It was clear Evelyn's grip on the narrative had finally slipped. And in the middle of this chaos, Ashley disappeared. Ashley deletes her accounts. Again, fans noticed just hours after Evelyn's letter went live that Ashley Braxton's Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube pages were all gone. Vanished. No explanation, no farewell video. Just silence. Those close to her say she had been emotionally drained after seeing both Michael's confession and Towanda's meltdown. The confrontation at Towanda's house, already intense, was reportedly followed by several late-night calls that ended in tears and hang-ups. A friend told the Jasmine brand anonymously, "Ashley is tired of being the storyline. She wanted truth, not headlines, and now the whole world is watching her heal in real time, but she's still bleeding." That quote hit hard. Even Tamar, usually vocal and reactive, kept things minimal. She simply posted on X, "Protect Ashley. That's all I care about now." But Towanda, she wasn't done. Towanda goes live again. Mama still playing victim. Just 24 hours after Evelyn's letter and Ashley's social media blackout, Towanda went live one more time. This time it wasn't rage, it was controlled fury. She spoke softly, clearly shaken but pointed in every word. That letter? That was a press release wrapped in a scripture. That wasn't an apology. That was Evelyn Braxton doing what she always does, playing the holy victim while her kids choke on the secrets she made them swallow. Towanda went on to say, "Mama never apologized to me for what she let happen. She made me believe that my shame was protection, that silence was obedience. But I was 17. I was scared. And you all kept telling me God wanted this." She began to cry again, but this time with less fire, more heartbreak. "I want Ashley to know. I never stopped loving you, even if I was never allowed to say it. I'm sorry I wasn't strong enough to fight for you back then." The moment broke viewers. Now this is the Towanda we needed. She's not angry anymore. She's broken. And Evelyn still hasn't said her name. As Towanda's soft-spoken breakdown rocked social media, fans were still waiting for one voice. One sister who had kept completely silent while the rest of the family was imploding. Toni Braxton. For days she said nothing. No lives, no tweets, no public support for Ashley, Towanda, or even Evelyn. Fans were torn. Some said she was staying neutral, others called it calculated silence. But that silence broke when Toni appeared in a surprise sit-down interview with Essence Live. Toni speaks. Secrets don't protect, they poison. Dressed in all black and visibly emotional, Toni Braxton spoke carefully but firmly. "I didn't want to speak, because it's not about me. But maybe staying quiet too long made it worse." Then came the moment. Yes, I knew, we all knew. Mama told us when Ashley was still in diapers. She said it had to stay buried or our family name would be destroyed. And I'm ashamed to say, I agreed. Gasps. The interviewer blinked. I thought I was protecting Towanda by not speaking. But I see now. We were all protecting Mama, not each other. Toni paused, voice cracking. "Ashley, if you're watching, I'm sorry, I should have spoken up before Tamar had to." Fans were stunned. Even those who had defended Toni's silence couldn't deny the weight of her words. Now that's accountability. Toni finally said what needed to be said. The oldest sister just flipped the entire dynamic. But what followed next, no one was ready for. The voicemail leak that changed everything. The same day as Toni's interview aired, a leaked voicemail surfaced online, reportedly from Evelyn Braxton to Towanda, left just 2 weeks before Tamar's livestream went viral. The voicemail posted anonymously to Reddit was chilling. "You know better than to let your feelings get in the way of God's plan. That child was not born of purity, Towanda. We did what we had to do. Don't make this worse. Don't open doors you can't close." Fans immediately analysed the clip. Audio experts confirmed the voice was indeed Evelyn. The coldness, the control, the implication that Ashley was a mistake that needed hiding. It painted Evelyn not as a grieving mother, but as a puppet master who buried pain with silence and prayer. Towanda reposted the voicemail on her IG story with the caption, "Y'all hear it now. I wasn't crazy. I was controlled." Reddit threads exploded with outrage. The words "born of purity" began trending, with users calling out Evelyn for weaponizing religion to justify abuse. Evelyn Braxton just erased Ashley's humanity in one sentence. "Now I see why Tamar broke the silence. This woman still thinks she's doing God's work by destroying her own bloodline." Even gospel circles began distancing themselves. One Atlanta pastor publicly rescinded a speaking invite, saying, "There's no healing in secrets, only harm." Braxton family torn in half. The voicemail leak had a ripple effect no one expected. Tony and Tamar began following each other again on Instagram, a sign that they were finally seeing eye to eye. Trina unfollowed Tony and posted a cryptic story. "Y'all love drama more than healing." Ashley's cousin posted a now-deleted tweet hinting at even more secrets. "If y'all knew what else Mama Evelyn buried, you'd burn that family tree to the ground." The sisters were now divided on moral lines. Tamar, Tony, and Ashley represented the truth-tellers. Trina and possibly Tracy's estate, handled by her husband, remained silent, but appeared uncomfortable. Towanda stood in the middle, not defending the past, but not ready to fully tear her mother down, either. And Evelyn? Her publicist released a brief statement. "Mrs. Braxton is not addressing unauthorized recordings. She stands firm in her faith and love for all her children." But fans had already made up their minds. Just when the internet thought this Braxton family saga couldn't go any further, a national news outlet stepped in. In a shocking announcement, BET and OWN co-sponsored an exclusive sit-down interview titled "Braxton Truth, Tamar, Tony, and Towanda Face the Fallout." It was billed as the most explosive family reunion ever filmed, airing live to over 12 million viewers in the first 48 hours. Cameras rolled, emotions flared. And what started as a cautious conversation turned into a televised, emotional earthquake. The sit-down begins, tension on every side. The three sisters sat side by side, Tamar, composed but clearly guarded, Tony trying to play peacemaker Towanda, arms crossed, face tight, energy ready to detonate. Host Gayle King opened gently. "Ladies, before we begin, let's be clear. This is your moment to speak. Without fear. Without interruption." But it was Towanda who jumped in first. "I've already been interrupted for 25 years, so I'm not waiting for permission anymore." The audience gasped. Tamar placed a hand on Tawanda's arm. Towanda pulled away. "Don't do that. Don't try to soften me. You had your moment. Now it's my turn." Tamar tried to respond, but Gayle quickly stepped in, guiding the discussion back to Ashley and Evelyn's voicemail. Tawanda's tone shifted, more sorrow than rage. "She called my daughter impure. She said I should have never brought her into the world. And you still want me to protect her? I protected Mama while she was destroying me." Tony wiped a tear. Tamar nodded silently. Then Towanda dropped the moment that changed everything. "You'll want to know the part nobody said on camera? Evelyn Braxton threatened to commit me to a mental hospital if I told Ashley the truth." Gasps, screams, total silence. She said, "You tell anyone and I'll tell the world you're unstable, that you hallucinated the whole thing." That's how deep her control went. Tamar's face froze. Tony whispered, "Wait, she said that." Towanda turned slowly to the camera. "Mama, if you're watching this, you told me silence would save me, but it only saved you." Evelyn collapses backstage. Emergency crew. Called what fans didn't see until leaked by a crew member hours later was what happened backstage. Evelyn Braxton was present at the taping, watching everything on a live monitor in a private green room. As Towanda spoke those words, Evelyn reportedly began hyperventilating, shaking and whispering, "No, no, no." She wasn't supposed to say that. A nurse was rushed in. Paramedics followed. The leaked video showed Evelyn collapsing to the floor, gasping for air. Her publicist later confirmed it was a stress-induced fainting spell, but said she was stable and recovering. But fans weren't moved. She passed out because her mask cracked. Now that the control is gone, so is the image. Don't collapse now, Mom. You built this stage. Even longtime fans of Evelyn, those who once saw her as a strong spiritual mother figure, admitted this moment signaled the fall of the matriarch's reign. Public reactions and fallout. Within hours of the televised interview, past Towanda was right trended on. Tamar gained 1.5 million followers. In a single day, Ashley's cousin launched a GoFundMe titled Ashley's Healing Fund, which raised 80 Ks in 48 hours. Evelyn's memoir pre-orders were cancelled by Amazon after mass public backlash. And Gayle King? She called it the most emotionally devastating interview I've ever conducted. Even Oprah posted on Instagram, "Truth heals, but only when we stop worshipping false peace." The Braxtons weren't just broken, they were reborn in the wreckage. The world had seen them for years as a tight-knit, music-driven family, but behind the harmonies was a horror show of secrets, silencing, and suffering. And now, Towanda had finally set her soul on fire, not out of vengeance, but out of survival. After weeks of public revelations, media spectacles, and generational secrets being dragged into the light, the world had only one question left. Where was Ashley Braxton? She had deactivated her social accounts. She hadn't returned calls. The girl whose stolen identity lit the match to this Braxton family wildfire had been absent, until now. In a pre-recorded YouTube video, Ashley finally returned, sitting alone on a plain couch, her voice steady, her eyes glassy, and her energy done hiding. Ashley speaks, "I loved my mother, even when I didn't know she was her." The video opened with one line, "I didn't come back to be pitied. I came back to speak for myself." Ashley took a breath, her voice shaking but unwavering. "For 20-something years, I believed I was just a niece, a cousin, a side note in a family full of stars. I never imagined the truth would be that the woman who hugged me the hardest was my mom." She talked about the betrayal, the confusion, but also the love. "Towanda loved me in silence. I see it now. But that silence broke me. And Mama Evelyn, she stole the chance for us to be what we were supposed to be, a mother and daughter." Tears finally fell as she added, "I forgive my mother, but I won't forget the silence." Fans flooded the comment section. Ashley's strength is unreal. She's more emotionally mature than the entire family combined. This is her story now. Not Evelyn's, not Tamar's. Hers. Towanda's final decision. I'm walking away from the Braxton name. Later that evening, Towanda posted a written letter on her Instagram. A powerful and soul-bearing declaration titled, "A Letter to Myself, I Choose Peace." The post read, "To my younger self, I'm sorry I didn't protect you. I'm sorry I let guilt speak louder than love. To Ashley, you are not my mistake. You are my redemption. I should have fought harder. I am fighting now. To my family, I'm done. I'm walking away from the name, the show, the stage, the chaos. My new name is Towanda Monique. No Braxton, no baggage, just me." She ended it with a quote from Maya Angelou. "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." The post went viral within minutes. Tony and Tamar both commented hearts. Evelyn did not respond. The Braxton brand crumbles and rebuilds in the days following. The Braxton Family Values reboot was officially cancelled. Tamar announced a new docuseries titled Uncovering Bloodlines, executive produced by Oprah. Tony began recording a concept album inspired by truth, betrayal, and healing. And Towanda was reportedly in talks for a memoir deal with a six-figure advance. But the biggest shift wasn't in money or media. It was in perception. The Braxtons had always been seen as powerful, polished, even perfect at times. But now, the world saw them for what they really were: broken, beautiful, and battling to heal in public. And at the centre of it all, Ashley was finally recognised not as a scandal, but as a survivor. This wasn't just a family meltdown, it was a full-blown emotional exorcism. Towanda didn't just go off. She reclaimed her voice, broke the chains of silence Evelyn wrapped around her soul, and stood tall in the ashes of generational pain. What started with Tamar's truth ended with Towanda's healing and Ashley's rebirth. From lies whispered behind closed doors to confessions shouted into the spotlight, the Braxton family saga reminded the world secrets don't protect, they poison. And now, the legacy that once sparkled with gospel roots and Grammy wins is being rebuilt from the ground up, not by Evelyn's control, but by the daughters who finally chose truth over loyalty. If this shook you, moved you, or made you question everything, hit that like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss another chapter in this unbelievable drama. Comment below. Was Towanda right to walk away from the Braxton name, or did she just break the one thing they had left? One thing's for sure, the silence is gone, and this family will never sound the same again.